Hey guys, this is John, and I'm playing Gordius in the 5-minute pool on ICC. Gordius opens with d4. Let's play d5. And if he plays a QGD, or I guess I will play a QGD. I was thinking QGD already, and it happened, so. It's castle. Pretty traditional line. And, I don't know, I think I'll go b6. I'm just going to play a pretty simple setup, because this line is not at all my specialty, but it's fairly easy to play without knowing a whole lot. Let's go a6. Just control the b5 square before I push c5. I'm sure I could play c5 directly, but knight b5 had me slightly concerned. Let's do this now. And it seems like there will be a lot of simplifications in the center. I'll take with the knight. If he takes with his knight, I take with my bishop. And stuff is coming off the board. I'm just going to check and see who Gordius is and what his stats are. Pretty good stats. 3-minute rating, about 2,400. Peak 5-minute rating, over 2,500. So I'm kind of attacking a2, although it's debatable whether I would take that pawn right away. Probably not. I don't want to take on d4 here yet because this knight gets in, and c6 is kind of weak. So I prefer not to capture there quite yet. So what to do in this position? I can't move this rook because of the a6 pawn hanging. Crosses my mind to play a5, a4, but he has bishop b5 if I do that. a5, bishop b5 stops me in my tracks. So maybe just knight f6, trying to work our way into e4. He can definitely take on c5, but if I take with the bishop, I should be good. So knight e5. If I go knight e4, how's he going to play it? Threatening his bishop. Yeah, that's logical. So now I'm thinking maybe he takes, and bishop d6 or something. I'm not sure I want to lose sight of c5, though. Maybe just rook c8. Yeah, let's go rook c8. It's possible I should take on g3 first, but I'm curious if he'll actually play bishop f4 to save his bishop. I don't think he will. I get the impression he will not do that. So, solid position to work with. I have no complaints about this for black. He does play bishop f4. Okay, so what if I take on d4? He might take with his queen. But I have bishop c5 then. I'd like to make this bishop relevant somehow. So if I take, queen takes, bishop c5, queen d3, let's say, that hits my knight and the a6 pawn. Doesn't look that good. Let's go b5. I have a feeling he still might play queen d3. But just knight back to f6 then. Looks fine. I think b5 is useful in a lot of senses. That move I did not see at all. Bishop. Okay, so his idea is g takes, bishop takes e4, queen g4. And then if I play bishop g6, he can take and he has at least a perpetual. That's very interesting. Okay, how do I deal with this? So take, he takes. I take, queen check, bishop g6, take, take, take. He wins a lot of pawns, though. He wins like a boatload of pawns right there. I'm just going to take. I don't know if I should have done this, though. Yeah, because of this line. Guess we'll find out. Queen g4. I have to go bishop g6 now. And he can take with his knight. Yeah, and then take with his queen on g6, and he's threatening mate, and I have to play this move. Yeah. I might just be down a pawn after all's said and done, huh? Okay, bishop takes. some pressure on f2. It's too bad his bishop controls the c1 square. Otherwise, I might be able to go like rook takes f2, queen c1. Rook f6 is not a threat because he has queen g7 mate, unfortunately. Queen c5, I would lose my e6 pawn. His queen is seriously annoying on that square. I might just want to trade queens as a result. Don't know if I can get away with avoiding the queen trade. Let's offer it. I have a little bit of an advantage on the queen side. Like, my pawns are further advanced than his. But overall, I'm just defending. If he goes rook c1, I can go at least here and try to drag him back to the defense of the f pawn, either with bishop e3 or maybe rook c2. Or that move. All right, let's go e5. I think I will try to push my queenside pawns, like so. A4 here. All right, I have an interesting idea. So if he goes check, I'm going to go king here. Don't know how wise this is, but I'm trying to get him to take on g7 so I can go rook to c8. He defends that pawn. Makes sense. Okay, let's go here and try to go for a4. If he goes rook c7, he's not really threatening to take it yet because I would have e4 check. So that's kind of nice. He can bring his king into e4, though, right now if he wants. That was one benefit of having my rook on f8. King e4 could be met by rook f4 check. Yeah, that's probably a good move. And then maybe his idea is f4. I'm not sure. Okay, nevertheless, let's do this.
Check.
Got to go after this pawn. We need some counterplay.
Check.
Maybe he can hold this pawn, but if he goes b4, I have rook e3 mate. It's kind of funny. Okay, we'll still do this. No rook e3 mate since he escapes to d5 now, but I still stand a decent chance of just winning the pawn on b4. His passes are pretty dangerous, but they're not out of the gate yet. Whereas I'm about to take this, and I'll be threatening discoveries, and also my b-pawn is going to be tough to stop because my bishop on d4 supports it.
Check.
Yeah, he has king to c6 now, doesn't he? Still, I think I had to go for this line. Huh. So he's just going to take on e5, I guess. Can I do anything about that? Don't think so. Yeah. I just have to push this pawn now and hope. He can go h4 and g4, though. I hope his rook is somewhat inconvenienced in having to stop my b-pawn, but at most I can hope to get like one pawn, maybe. I might win the g-pawn after all. If I can win the g-pawn, I have drawing chances. It's the best I can hope for. Okay, let's go here so I can push b2. Oh, why didn't I take on g2? I should have taken on g2. That was totally dumb.
Time war. Check.
I was trying to move fast. I'm holding my b-pawn for now. My rook is being used to cut him off.
Check.
Is that enough? Probably not. Okay, I gotta go here now.
Check.
He's gonna run all the way in with his king.
Check.
Oh yeah, okay. That was really foolish. I didn't take the g-pawn for some reason. I don't know why I moved my king. Yeah, just take the pawn on g2. That's probably a draw. He still has chances, but yeah, if I take g2 there, it's looking drawish. Blew it at the end. The time got to me. Let's have a look. So out of the opening, I was satisfied. Sometimes I played bishop takes f6 in this position, but he just withdrew his bishop to h4. I played b6, going for a queenside fianchetto, and then stick the knight on d7. Very classical way of playing. So like I said, I'm pretty sure I could play c5, but I just wasn't sure if I wanted to allow this move. And d6 and c7 are kind of weak. So I played a6 instead, keeping his knight out. And then c5. Take. I think it is good to take with the knight. Because if I take with my pawn, I don't feel like this knight has a lot of future. It could go to e4, but in some sense it's tied down to the d5 pawn. So I feel like if I can induce an exchange, I should be totally fine. Take, take. He played b3. Let's start the engine up right here. Gives a very modest advantage to white. Knight f6, knight e5. Here I can take on d4, and then after queen takes d4, played bishop c5 according to the engine. Instead, I played knight e4, attacking his dark square bishop. Yeah, and it's possible if I really wanted to get rid of this bishop, I should just do it right now. And then maybe now rook c8. Or, as the computer says, take on d4. I thought I could gain something by delaying this exchange, but it does give him the option of bishop f4, and I overlooked this threat. That's a nifty threat. The thought of playing g5 did cross my mind. I just didn't think it was necessary yet. It seemed kind of weakening. But the computer thinks it's the strongest move. Yeah, and this allows the bishop takes h6 shot. What if I just play knight f6 in this position? That seems pretty safe too, right? D takes, rook takes, bishop takes. The only thing I'm kind of worried about is his knight on e5 and his ability to jump into c6. But that doesn't provide him with any gigantic advantage or anything in this position. Yeah, I think knight f6 would be a responsible decision. And then bishop takes h6 does not work because after something like this, queen g4 is not possible for one thing. So I played b5, he took. Yeah, now I have to continue down a pawn. And maybe I should just do a reinforcing move like that, just to defend g7 so that bishop takes, queen g4 doesn't hurt as bad. I can just play bishop f5 and then, in that case. Instead I took, he took on c8. Excuse me. And then he took on e4, queen g4. I didn't notice bishop f6. I thought I had to play this move, but bishop f6 does work because it defends g7, and if he takes my bishop, I take here. I'm just down, what? A pawn, though, once again. Solid pawn. So I did this. He took, I took. I think I did a decent job of defending this position. Bishop f6, e takes d4, bishop takes. This ending wasn't terrible for me. I had my fair share of counterplay. Just looking for anything major that I might have missed going forward here. G5. Since he can't take it due to rook takes f2. Bishop g3. My strategy at this point was to, at some point, try to utilize my further advanced queenside pawns. Because if I try to wait around and defend on the king side, I'm going to lose. His structure is better and he's up a pawn. So I have to time my queenside counterplay. Like you saw what I was trying to do with rook a8, a5, a4, that sort of thing. It's my only chance. Need to drum up counterplay. Yeah, it might have been a mistake to allow him to play king e4. King d5 does seem logical. Rook c7. Rook h8, go after his bishop. Bishop g3. I'd hate to have to play rook g8, though. That's so passive. Here, he is actually threatening to take on g7, because if e4, trying to be clever, discovered attack his rook, he plays f takes e4 with check on my king. And the quote-unquote combination backfires. So I played rook a8, he went king into e4.
Check.
Very possible I'm just losing now.
Check.
Yeah, it would have been nice if
Check.
a little bit later,
Check.
like when he checked me here and I got my king to e6, if he had mechanically pushed b4 and I could have mated him with rook e3.
Check.
That would have been a picturesque mate. Here f4 is strong. This undermining move is good. I can't take it because I dropped my bishop, and he's threatening f5 check. Yeah, that would be a good way to finish me off. Rook takes b3,
check.
f5, king d6, bishop
check.
e7, push my king further away. f6, I can scarcely stop this pawn. The f pawn is much more dangerous than my b pawn now. So that's over.
Check.
Rook b3.
Check.
I thought right here he was going to play king c6. That's what I thought his intention was. Threatening mate and also keeping an eye on my b pawn. I wasn't sure what I was going to do about that, because if I have to go here and give that up, I must be losing.
Check.
Here, king b4. It's probably just a matter of time. The 3 versus the 1, and my king cut off. So he surprised me when he played bishop f6, although that seems pretty good too. So here he shouldn't even bother taking the e-pawn. He should just run his outside h-pawn, according to the computer. Yeah, that's a good point, because he's promoting with check and checkmate, most likely. So if I get into a race situation with him, I'm dead. Yeah, I'm going to come up one tempo short. Even if rook d2, he can just play h7. I don't have any good discoveries with this bishop. So that would have been a good way to play it. Instead, he chopped my pawn on e5. Now the b pawn, my only hope. I think this was a good move, rook c2. Cutting off his king, not allowing it to get close in order to assist in defense of the b pawn. Because if he can stop my b pawn with just his king, then I'm definitely losing, because his rook can stay guarding this pawn and he can just slowly usher them off the board. b3, h4, I went here. Because if I don't play my rook over, I can't advance my b pawn, since he always has king takes c2. So I play the rook over, but then he does this, I play b2, and now just the inexcusable king d7. I had it in my head all along I was going to play rook takes g2, and for some reason, I didn't do that. I might have subconsciously assumed he was playing rook c4 check first. I don't know. I don't know why I did this. Can't psychoanalyze it too much, it's just a blitz game, but yeah, rook takes g2 is probably drawing, because you know, if he just approaches my pawn, let's say, I would probably go after his f pawn.
Check.
Yeah, this is a total draw. My king can come over to assist, and it's an h pawn. It's always hard to win with rook pawns in single rook endgames. So, a shame, because now I'm pretty sure I'm losing after this. Maybe even here I can put up some resistance. It's hard, though. His pawns have a life of their own. Yeah, now I'm definitely losing. Could I have held his pawns somehow? Rook h2, which stops the g-pawn from going for fear of losing the h-pawn. It's probably losing, though. I mean, once his king breaks in to help these pawns, I think it's hopeless. My b-pawn almost doesn't matter, because his rook will function the same in winning this endgame. Rook and 2 pawns versus rook. It'll function the same whether I have the b-pawn or not. I mean, it's on the correct rank, let's say, and he can check me on 7th or 8th or 6th rank as needed. And he keeps an eye on b1.
Check.
So this does look decisive.
Check. Check.
Yeah. So that's too bad, missed opportunity at the end, but interesting game nonetheless. I should have seen bishop takes h6, but hope you guys enjoyed this Blitz video. I'll be back tomorrow with another one. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.